All right, we're good now. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hello. Konnichiwa. All right, yo, listen. We're a little discombobulated, but for good reasons.
Yeah.
Not gonna say why. You'll just see soon. But hello. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. We're a little hampered. We had to fix the cameras. We had to, check the voicing. We had to make sure that everything's here. You probably noticed that somebody's missing. They're not. They're here. They're just doing something right now. So give us a second. But I just want to say, Happy New Year's. Can we do that? No. So I just want to say to everybody, bringing in the newest year to date. This is the first episode of this year. It's going to be a banger, as usual. I just want to say thank you to everybody that has joined the chat so much. I'm going to do a little bit of the heavy lifting today. When Sebastian comes in, we'll do our thing. So my name is Larry.
Lawrence.
Lionel.
Sebastian. And this is that One Piece, where we talk One Piece. I said it wrong, guarantee you. Hold on.
This is that One Piece talk.
This is that One Piece talk where we talk One Piece. I just want to say what up to James Hudson, that messy hair guy, Winston, Ragnar, Jordan, Toby, Nick, Alex the Human, Villain, Kev DOG, Jordan, Nick, Toby, The Last Antari, Jordan again, Winston, thank you, Joy Boy Mark, for becoming a Yonko member as well. Yo, close the door real quick. Also, who else? Usopp, Gadi Usopp, Oz, thank you guys. Zaki, what's up? CD, thank you. Who else? James Hudson with the $2 says hashtag Larry has bad takes. Then we got CD with the hashtag Buggy Gang for $5. Another one from James Hudson, $2 says bang bang, hashtag Buggy Gang. Kazuki Zoro, thank you for the 3 months of becoming a Nakama. He says Happy New Year's, y'all. Then we got Bushy Brow 28 with the $2. He says, didn't chapter 1071 drop a few days ago? What's up, KJ? What's up, BR as well? Okay, so listen, guys. We are not going to discuss chapter 1071 because chapter 1071 isn't out yet officially. When it's coming to a point where all these spoilers that you're getting spoiled on, literally, it came out like 2 weeks in advance before the chapter even drops. Like the official chapter doesn't drop until I think like 3 days from now or so. So that's why we're not going to discuss chapter 1071. We don't talk about chapters that haven't officially come out yet on the podcast. Will we talk about it somewhere else? Yes. But in our Discord, usually we don't talk about it either until the chapter officially drops in the general chats. So there is going to be no talk about anything that happened in chapter 1071. But instead, since it's break week, we're going to talk about everything else. And that's it. All right? So hopefully that gets through to everybody. If you spoil in chat, you're probably going to get hit with some mods, either deleting your message or just overall, if it keeps going, they'll probably ban you. Apologies. Joy Boy Mark with the $5 says, hashtag Seb hates Fishman, hashtag Buggy Gang. And then another one, Luffy needs to try some booty meat. With the $2, he says, my name is Larry and I like Buggy, hashtag Buggy. But yes, so thank you everybody for joining as well again. Let's see.
Did you see what KJ said?
No, what did he say?
He said, Seb, I DM Larry my takes. Let my guy know.
Oh, I texted him back.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody that sent me a DM regarding what was supposed to happen with the questions, thank you. If I text you back, most likely it worked out. All right. So everybody that's on YouTube, thank you. I wanted to inform you that I do have my own channel, and Sebastian does as well. I dropped my long-awaited Joy Boy Graveyard Theory and my Uranus Theory on my channel. The link is in the description below. To all our audio-only listeners who listen to make their days go by a little bit better, thank you for you. And we also have merch on thatonepiecetalk.com/merch. We only have small and medium shirts so far that are left, but expect something to happen in February. Other than that, thank you to everybody that's in Discord. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all the truth. Appreciate you. It keeps growing every day. We still are looking for a mod. So that's going to be talked about this week, most likely. And if not, we'll push it back. So that's about it. But how are you guys?
All right, not too bad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Chilling? How about you,
Yeah,
Lionel?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
All right.
Scully gang, bro.
Yeah, it's not even that cold outside.
actually-
but
Yeah, it's
like
not
just
that
the
cold
word.
outside, bro. Global warming. Global warming. But I was wondering when what, the TV?
Yeah.
Marv, the TV is just not working. Yeah, he'll probably fix it. It's not completely off.
It's just the HD.
It says no signal.
Yeah. Did you knock it out, Lionel, when you got out?
All right, so we since it's One Piece break week, we are going to be taking questions. I have a couple people that have DM'd me some of their questions specifically, and I'm wondering if we should wait for Sebastian or just start the questions anyway. Yeah, it's on. Thanks, Marv. All right, so we have from Jacob Tiffany for $2. He says, "Smoker low diffs a Nell."
Oh, I remember we got into that. No, not really, but me and Sebastian were talking about that. It's interesting for you because of like what Smoker could do. Like Smoker, Nell could like see everything that Smoker could do with his observation, but then Nell doesn't have. We don't know how his hockey is, so we don't have an efficient way to.
Yeah, you could just come in, bro.
I'm gonna pause right there.
Oh, man.
Yo, he looks big as heck.
Yeah, like, you look good, bro. I got you, bro.
I didn't sell the laptop?
Nah, it's all
Oh,
right.
my God.
It's
I got
all
my
right, bro.
phone.
Where's you even
Yeah,
in it?
you
I didn't know your
got-
laptop
oh my
was,
God.
bro.
Yeah, you got the cape, bro.
Oh, my God.
All right,
What's
you
up,
good?
y'all?
I didn't know your laptop was.
Yeah, you could grab the chair, right?
Oh, man.
You could grab everything. It's
Yeah,
not gonna be
I
dirty.
can grab
All right,
everything.
All right, I don't know if you're gonna be able to put the headphones on. You could not use the headphones, bro. You could not use the headphones. It's cool. Yeah, don't dirty it because of Marv. Yeah. All right, so this is Sebastian.
Oh, man.
Yo, Marv's gonna come in real quick and fix the camera. Yeah, this is Sebastian, bro. Listen, as we've said, it was going to take a little bit for these costumes to develop, and you know, we're here to start off the new year with a new episode. Seb, how do you feel, bro?
I'm not gonna lie. If it wasn't for the fangs, I would feel great. It's hard to talk. But
You sound like Jimbei though.
Yeah.
do I? I don't think I sound like Jimbei. I think I kind of look like him a little bit.
No, you look like him.
Yeah, you look like him, bro.
Send me on a sing.
I was thinking, what is a Jimbei line you could say? That was good. That was good.
Oh my god.
But as Larry likes to say, we are men of our word. We said we would do a Jimbei cosplay.
I think you could try to talk normal, bro.
It's hard. This is me trying to talk normal. This
Alright.
He's putting on a Jimbei. Nah, bro. It's hard to talk. It's hard to talk. But
It's crazy.
I feel dope.
I
feel dope.
I could feel your hockey, bro.
I hope y'all could see the tattoo because this is low-key
look
black
at
a little
that.
bit. Can I see it?
He got the sun pirate on his chest, bro.
This in there.
Yes, so shout out to Joelle and Shay for
Thank you.
really putting in that work that I wasn't going to do. So I'm very happy that they exist.
Bruh. Shout out to my girl. Shout out to JoJo.
Yeah.
They was able to make me look like Jimbei today.
Yeah.
And my teeth feel weird.
It's alright, bro. It's alright. Alright.
Sorry, sir.
So yo, you look so good, bro.
I hate y'all.
Shay gonna get back home and you gonna be like, yo, I gotta take a shower. She gonna be like,
She already said.
nah.
She already said she
Nah,
showered
don't take a
first.
shower.
Keep it on.
Keep it on. Say what he would say.
Y'all terrible. Y'all terrible.
All right, so Jacob Tiffany says smoker with low diff Anel for $2. Since you're in Jimbei form, you gotta. What do you think, bro? Who do you have?
Low key, this is a bad matchup for Anel. He doesn't have any armament hockey to take him out with.
No.
And like, even though Anel is clearly like a stronger combatant than Smoker on average, it's like Smoker has hockey. He has C-Stone Jutei. Like, it's everything he can do. Like, he can hurt Anel while Anel kind of can't hurt him. Now, as far as the science of it goes, I don't know how lightning would affect Smoke. Like, I don't know if there's like something Anel could do with his lightning that would affect Smoke in a way. Like, I don't know, like matchup wise, but in general, I'm gonna go Smoker. Yeah, I'm gonna go Smoker.
No.
Okay.
I don't need to say anything else.
Okay.
Are you waiting for me to decide which one?
Yes.
Shoot. I have to go with Smoker for now.
Thanks.
I have to.
You know what I'm saying? Smoke. He has a Jutei, that C-Stone, hockey, and he also have observation. Like, so just what Anel lacks, Smoker just has more of. So,
yeah,
I guess.
But I have to think Smoker. Anel's probably gonna come. If I believe he's gonna come back, he's gonna come back with heat. But as of right now, from what we've seen right now, so I'm going off. Just off that, not as speculation. What we've seen right now, I have to go Smoker. That's why I'm going.
All right. Celestial Donkey with the $50 says, Larry, you know what this is for. #Bucky Gang. James Hudson with the $2 says, CD wanting those bars dropped. #Rap God Larry. It's coming, bro. Be patient.
It is break week. You should rap now.
Yeah, it's all right, bro. Jacob Tiffany with the $2 says, #Juicy Booty Seb. What?
I'm Jimbei right now.
Yeah, you're
feel me?
Jimbei. Donnie Flash with the $10 says, longtime Spotify listener, love the stream. What do you think Momo's power ceiling is, considering his fruit is nearly identical to Kaido's? I guess we'll throw it to you, Lionel. What do you think?
wait, we said, what was the question?
Momo's power ceiling. How strong can Momo be?
Well, kind of goes into what Vegapunk said with, like, if there's any limitations on the artificial abilities. Because I could just say, all right, whatever Kaido could do, Momo could pretty much do the same thing. Because it's like replica of the fruit. But, because Vegapunk said himself, he doesn't know whether they can awaken that. And that's a big factor. Like, he could probably reach as much as Kaido could, but now you can't go awakening, that caps it. So, like, probably think if he fully replicated that Devil Fruit, then the ceiling is like the limit, pretty much. Like, he could go awakening. He could pretty much he could probably make an island fly just like Kaido could do. So I'm giving what Kaido could do, Momo could do, except we don't know. Since Vegapunk himself doesn't know who created the fruit, doesn't know if he could do awakening, then I can't give Momo that. I can't, because we have to see if he could do that.
All right. Then we have Villain D Juice with the $20. He says, hell yeah, Seb. #Boss Jimbei. #Seb takes only today. #the twins aren't real. People are really loving the Jimbei cosplay. They really are, bro.
I hope they are, man. This took a lot of work, and I feel weird. But I feel badass though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd chip somebody up right now.
Yeah, you probably would.
I ain't gonna front.
But that blue paint would definitely help out.
Like the second I started putting the paint on, I was like, yo, maybe Sanji really is fourth, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I was like,
hold on. So is Jimbei top 20?
yo, bro, I know he didn't make my top 30. I'm feeling pretty top 30 right now. Like, I don't feel like there's 30 dudes out here that can take me, bro. You feel me?
Is it the Fishman Karate? He's like, you know,
I'm like,
when people
like, I feel it.
Baby Pluto with the $5 says, yo, before we start, we need that Golgurt war details to be written in history. By the way, Seb, this fit looks natural. Lawrence, I guess we should pass it to you and tell the yogurt story of what happened.
So this is what you guys were talking about.
Yes. This is exactly what we were
I don't even
talking
know
about.
why this is even a discussion.
Show them who you really are, Lawrence.
Show them out.
Show them who you
So
really are.
are you gonna explain the story?
If you really want to know, I'm just saying is that what I set out, what I was gonna do.
Can you say the story?
I did. You know.
Just say Lawrence imitated Luffy to the highest point, right?
Yeah,
I
Luffy
did.
would have did that, yo.
Yes, he would have.
Yo, he would've. Yeah, he would've. Luffy
Why?
definitely
All right, first, let me say, because your biased stuff is gonna
I'm
be.
dressed as Jimbei right now, bro. I can't lie. Go ahead. You tell a story.
Yeah.
I'm still salty over it, obviously.
I mean, you're a fisherman. You're gonna be
It's
salty.
crazy because he always leaves a part out of it, but either way, when we were kids, right? When we were younger,
We was growing up.
They was grown ass men.
You were not
grown ass men.
were
Mark.
It happened yesterday.
Yeah.
This is years ago.
Definitely like
This is
in our
years
teens,
ago.
bro.
These are years ago. Teens are still kids.
Go ahead.
Anyway, right? So I forgot how I even started, but I wanted to get yogurt, right? And Sebastian's like, "Yo, get me one," right? And I commented like if there's enough or something like that. But at the time, Sebastian didn't hear me. But I was saying pretty much, I said it like probably low, but while I was heading out, that in my mind I planned to get 2.
Yo, he never said that.
Because he didn't hear me. But again, because I was sitting down in my out, was like, if there's some left, like
Nah,
whatever.
bro.
I plan to get 2.
Nah, I'm telling the story, bro. No, listen. We're in my parents' home. There's a community yogurt. Everybody in the house is allowed to eat this yogurt.
I do what I want.
Right? Me and Lawrence are in the attic chilling. He goes downstairs and he's like, "Yo, I'm about to go get some yogurt." I'm like, "Yo, get me one too." And he goes, if there's any left, right? If there's enough. So he goes downstairs and brings up one yogurt. And I'm like, there wasn't any left? He was like, "Nah, there was no more." Those are his exact words. There was no more yogurt. I'm like, all right, cool, that's real. You know what I mean? I can't expect him to give me the yogurt that he was coming down to get. After 15 minutes, he eats that yogurt. And I'm chilling. And then, out of nowhere, he whips out a second yogurt from his pocket. Stealthily. He tried to be stealthful about it. Yo, they were there. They were there.
First of all, I did it in front of you.
He tried
broad
to
daylight.
sneak
I
the
didn't sneak
yogurt
nothing.
up.
I just pulled it out of my pocket.
He snuck the yogurt up into plain view, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" There's clearly another yogurt here. And his words was, "Yo, I was always getting 2.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't expect yogurt." And again, this isn't his yogurt. This isn't yogurt he bought. This is community yogurt for the house.
Dibs, bro.
Oh my God.
You were bad in
So-
the aspect of the dibs,
so-
bro. You a believer in the dibs.
So we got into a huge debate about it for like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, they fought,
We
bro.
basically fought. And then eventually Lawrence gave me the yogurt. But what you did was still grimy. Alright? You
I didn't
can't
hide
ignore
nothing.
that part of it.
I did it in front of you, bro.
Oh my God.
In front of you. And then also, I gave you the yogurt. So I don't get why this is a problem.
After like
Ended up giving me the
Yeah.
after we shamed you for like an hour, bro.
That's like he don't be doing some grimy stuff.
I do grimy stuff, but I stand on it. I say that I do grimy stuff. You out here acting like you just. Did you not?
I didn't say I was just. I just said, did you end up getting the yogurt or not? Did you were satisfied with yogurt?
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Were you satisfied? Yeah, you got
You guys
yogurt.
got.
That's a yogurt story.
Yeah, that's the yogurt story.
Alright.
They paid me out this evil person for this one story. It's crazy.
Grimy, bro.
So Luffy needs to try some booty meat. Sends us $10 and says Jimbei outfit is lit. Larry should dress as Sanji when he was stuck on Momoro Island. Hashtag Buggy Gang. Hashtag Larry for Fruity Sanji. What's wrong with you, bro?
Yo, I'm down
What's
for
wrong
that,
with you?
yo.
Memorial Island.
The Kamabaka.
Kamabaka
yeah.
Island. Yeah.
that's
Nope.
wild.
When Sanji got swung around in a dress.
You gotta do the moan and everything.
No.
Nope.
Rolling over Chris with the $5 says, tell Oda to put Seb in the live action. The Jimbei fit is fire, broski.
Bro, I'm with it.
Joyboy Mark with the $50. Jesus, guys. He says, looking like a god, Seb. Thank you so much, guys. Celestial Donkey with another big donation, $50. He says, hashtag twins for 𝙃𝙀𝙀𝙁 brothers. Hashtag Buggy Gang.
𝙃𝙀𝙀𝙁 brothers.
Oh, brother.
The dudes that went on Nami's Island?
Nah,
bounty hunters?
I believe
That's
they're the
Russell.
Whitebeard pirates who are like twins and they have like claws.
Yeah.
Were they twins?
Yeah,
There was two of them.
Yeah, there was twins. They had like different colors on though. But no, Lawrence is gonna do the Papagu
Y'all
cosplay.
should be Johnny and Yasaku.
And then I'm gonna do the Sogi King. The Sogi King is coming next.
Y'all should still do Johnny and Yasaku.
We might
Zoro's boys?
we might do me and Lawrence might do the Papagu and Sogi King on the same episode. Then we have Party Pete with the $2. He says Mozu and Kiwi for the twins.
Mozu and Kiwi.
Kiwi.
I don't remember who that is.
Is it Kizu?
Kiwi.
You said Mozu?
I don't know. I forgot.
I don't have
I gotta look that
I don't
up.
have anything.
All right. $5 from Usopp's nose. He says, "Y'all get me through work. Thanks, guys. But do y'all think another Straw Hat split up is in the future? Lots of similarities with Sabaody." I hope not.
Wait, what do you mean by split up? Like an argument type of thing?
No,
Or-
like they're just gonna split
they
up,
lose?
like forced to split up, where it's like another 2-year time skip kind of thing.
Oh no, I don't see
Nah,
that.
I don't think
see
Yeah,
that
yeah.
coming at all.
I would hate it, bro. They've been split up for so long. Like most of pre-time skip, what I love about One Piece is that they were all together.
Yeah.
Like that's when One Piece was like super dope for me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Luffy needs to try some booty meat with another $2. Says Jimbei Will is coming out of Seb. Better be careful. Yes, so thank you guys for all the super chats. I'm really happy that you guys are really loving Seb's cosplay. He looks kind of wild. Now that I'm looking at it through the screen, holy. They say you got that Kanye jaw.
No, I do.
You ain't got the
Oh my
answers,
God.
man. You
All
ain't
right.
got the answers.
So let's start off with some questions, man. We're gonna do phone calls today too, guys. Oh my God. The last on Tari just sent $50. Thank you so much, Brody. He says Kiku and Izo for the twins. I'm not giving up. Hashtag boss Seb. Hashtag Seb. Seb got the best cosplay. Out of my buggy one? Oh my God.
Dude,
Thank
you
you
ain't
so
paint
much.
your entire upper torso, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright?
Thank you so much, Antari, for the 50.
And just know, I'm wearing gloves so I can touch stuff. The hands are Bluetooth. Alright? I painted the hands, too.
Yo, the question is, who would dress as Kiku and Izo?
They will never do it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
never
tell you
do
that
it.
right now.
Yeah,
They
they would
will
never do it. Yeah, never do
But
it.
Lawrence is definitely Kiku.
Because he's the more complicated
you're
one.
taller.
That's why.
I'm not feeling this disrespect.
You're taller.
I'm not feeling this disrespect.
You're gonna make him take a shade off.
First of all, I'm none of these things. I'm a man, and I know that I'm
Izo
a
was
man.
dope, bro.
No,
I'm Kiku.
I'm a man, and I know I'm a man. I'm not confused like them.
Listen, man.
Listen, man.
Oh man.
Kiku out here doing it.
I don't think they confused, bro. They know
Yo,
what they
know
want.
what? It was just so weird.
And they was that.
Is that conversation that Sanji and Kinemon was having, where they like thought of him as really as a woman?
Yeah.
It was low key.
Kinemon accepts Kiku for what she is, man.
But you gotta
he
check your
is.
boy Sanji though. That's twice, bro. That's twice.
Listen, dog.
You know.
People be getting caught on Instagram all the time, bro. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, she look good, and you're like,
Yo, I
yeah,
just-
she do look good. And it's like, that's a dude, and you're like, hey, Sanji already caught up, bro.
No, I don't think that ever Sanji got mistaken, honestly.
No, they showed that.
He was
Did
trying to bag Kiku for
Yeah.
Are
real.
you sure?
Yeah.
Did somebody tell him that he
Yo,
was
honestly, Sanji, just bye, bro.
Nah.
good? Nah, you sure? You crazy.
Couple years
You
on
must be crazy.
Shut up.
Kamabaka, bro.
No.
Nah,
No.
alright.
Yeah, I gotta see that chapter. I know what y'all talking
Yeah.
about.
All right. So, to lead into our first question, this was by Strahd. He says, only question I would have would be, does the Yami Yami still work on synthetic fruits, green blood, etc.? What do you guys think?
So if I would think Vegapunk is smart enough to have accounted for that. You know what I mean? And like that it shouldn't work. But I don't think Oda's gonna write a story where like one of the main villains just straight up can't use the thing that makes him as powerful as he should be. So I think it'll still work. So yeah, if I had to guess, I would say that it does still work. It does. The Yami would still work on the synthetic fruits. They might be able to swim, but I still think the Yami can suck whatever it's doing. It can still do it to these fruits. So.
All right. What about you, Lionel?
Well, I was trying to think of like going by Vegapunk's personality, like because he's a perfectionist. Would he still want that as a part of the fruit, being a perfectionist? Like, for instance, he got disappointed when Kaido's fruit, even though it looks like Luffy thought it was perfect, the color was just off, and he thought it was a failure. So I'm trying to think, going towards that, does Vegapunk want, for it to be authentic to him as I made an official copy of the fruit? It still has those capabilities where that Blackbeard could take away from them. Because going off the wheels of the fruits. Because again, going off, he took the DNA and the blood factor of the fruits itself and its will. So pretty much he mimicked it as much as possible. So I think most likely, yeah. It could probably still be taken away.
I'll go since I always go last. I guess you go after. I think it would work. I'm gonna go against the grain. No. I don't think it would work. I'm gonna go against the grain. And the only reason I say that is because I don't think necessarily what Vegapunk is taking from the fruit is the will or the entity of the fruit, because when they spoke about fruits, they spoke as if it has a will of its own, but I don't think it's Vegapunk has necessarily transcended to the level of transferring the will of a devil fruit. And I think that's where the difference is going to be, where this synthetic devil fruit doesn't actually have the will of the original devil fruit, so it won't be sucked in by vortex. The same way Vegapunk is very confused, or he's still curious about if Momo's devil fruit can even awaken, and that would mean that there's something significant that Vegapunk couldn't transfer over from that devil fruit to the next, right? So maybe, in my opinion, it probably wouldn't. But I do want to bring up the fact, if Vegapunk ever ran across the Yami at any point, and he tried to take that devil fruit power, the same way he did with Kizaru's light beam and gave it to a pacifista, if that pacifista fought Blackbeard, would the vortex from the Seraphim suck in Blackbeard? Or would it cancel out? You know what I'm saying? I think that would be a very interesting thing to see. That is, we have a Seraphim with the Yami. I think that the Yami shouldn't just be exclusive to Blackbeard. That would be interesting, the same way Luffy shouldn't be just exclusive to him. Vegapunk is so dangerous that maybe, in my mind, I went in that direction. But you go, Law.
Honestly, it's funny that you brought up that, because my thoughts were, that's the reason I would use to explain why it wouldn't work for, I believe, for the sea. The sea emits an energy that blocks or where you can't use your ability in it or makes you weak, right? That thing is what you said is what I would use for that reason, because you think of what ability is. It's not that I could take away or nullify your abilities. It's more I'm just kind of black holing it, where all that just goes into the black hole, so you can't use it, right? So I'm thinking the Yami Blackbeard's ability should still work against any type of ability, because I'm just kind of sucking everything up through this vortex, through this black hole. Whereas the sea is they're the sea stone or sea stone actually they counteract with each other. What Vegapunk's saying is it's the opposite opposing, because it's not real, the abilities. They're kind of came from in a natural way through man's will, right? So it's kind of nature versus man created things in a way. So what Vegapunk was saying, that the fruits, even though they are fruits, they're not nature-born fruits. They're, in a way, kind of artificial fruits. They're man-made fruits because they came from a will or a desire, a dream from man. So now you alter that even more so by what Vegapunk did. But the only thing I battle that is that Vegapunk looks like he tried going for the exact replica, the exact copy of the fruit. So it probably inherited all of its weaknesses with the nature itself. But I would say that what you were saying, I would use that for why it wouldn't work against sea stone, or why it wouldn't go against the sea thing. But But black person's ability should be able to suck up kind of like anything because it's a black hole. It's not just towards ability where I could do this. It's just a special feature that his ability could do that because it's like fire. Like you suck up a black hole into a fire, the black hole would suck it up. You know, black holes are supposed to be able to eat up anything. That's why I believe he would still work. It would still work. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what Jimbei's laugh is. If I could do it.
I forgot. Marcus D. Jones with the $2 says, "Can we get Law to cosplay 𝙏𝙝𝙪𝙀𝙪 Mr. One?"
That would be cool.
Listen, man.
That would be pretty cool.
Can't
wear glasses for that.
Yeah, the Hidden Island.
Hey.
With the $20 says, "Whoa." Yes, Hidden Island just dropped a mega theory. If you guys didn't know as well, please go to his channel. It's about emu, and music. From what I've saw, I was watching like a little bit before I came.
Yo, shout out to Hidden, man. He always dropping like stuff that changes the game and changes the way I view the series.
Yes.
Which is kind of crazy because like it's a long ass series. Like it's wild that you can have your perspective changed from some like 20-minute video or 40-minute video, but Hidden consistently does that. So
yeah,
definitely check that video out if you guys have a chance.
All right. The next question. This is from Void. He says, on tonight's podcast, Larry, a question you can ask on tonight's podcast is what they think of old Whitebeard's hair. So have you guys ever seen old Whitebeard's hair? What it looks like without like the cap?
Did they show it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Oda drew a picture of it. Did you?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, you can't say anything.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it. I think.
Well, Lawrence, so what do you think it looks like?
He used to have long blonde hair, so
Yeah.
I laugh. It was like a mohawk, but he's probably almost bald.
Yeah, almost bald.
Yeah.
You think?
What about you, Lionel? Do you remember what it was?
Kind of, but I could be misremembering. I swear it's like he's kind of like bald. Or should I describe it?
Yeah, it's up to you.
Isn't it like he bald and like a hair's like sticking out or a couple of it or something like that?
I mean, you could.
Is it something like that? Like
something like that. All right, so this is what his actual hair looks like. No. Yeah. Oh, so basically, it's his beard, but on top of his head.
What a stupid.
It's like a crescent moon.
It's like a crescent moon. Yeah.
So it went from this long, like,
yeah, that's a
this long. How does that even happen? I'm getting
know.
old.
He gets it done, bro.
You think you got it done?
He gets it done that way.
No, I thought he just lost his hair to that part.
Bro.
Nah.
What?
No,
his hair comes down.
You saw
naturally.
him in his prime. He has long,
and it comes down naturally. He has like
but
a
his hair is
fade.
long.
He has like a skin baldy, and then it goes up into a crescent moon. He had that done.
I'm pretty sure he just lost his hair.
Yo, Whitebeard human, bro.
No.
He can make
you
bad
lose
hair.
hair
when
I'm
you
saying
get
right
old.
now.
I know he lost hair. I'm saying that the crescent moon is a decision that he made.
No, the reason why he wore that do-rag all the damn time is because it did that. He's just like, I look
Nah, bro,
stupid.
he just getting it present prime.
He wouldn't have covered it up. He wouldn't have covered it up.
You know?
He'd be like, say something, I'll quake you right now.
You think my hairline will go back?
I think Whitebeard is insecure about his hairline, bro.
Yeah.
There's no way he's insecure, bro. Whitebeard's not that guy. But if
I
he
think there's a
was,
part
it'd be,
of him that could be,
it's
bro.
that's probably why he wears it. All right. We did get some super chats. Let me read those real quick before we go. I think we got one. Mm-hmm. It's from Rio Nosuke for the $2. He says, "Yo, Seb looking nice. Good job on the cosplay."
Thank you.
And they're calling you Sebbei.
Sebbei.
They're calling you Sebbei now. Sebbei.
Hey, I like that.
All right. So,
I think we just got another one.
did we?
Yeah.
Oh, let me read that one before we get into the next question. Luffy needs to try some booty meat with the $5 says, "Do you think Blackbeard will use Gecko Moria's power to bring back the frozen inmates at Vegapunk Island since Aokiji could unfreeze them?"
That would assume that he comes to like.
I forgot all about those
Aren't they in
inmates.
Punk Hazard? Like the frozen giants? Aren't they? I don't think they're on Egghead. They're on Punk Hazard, right?
I forgot.
Or is he talking about frozen giants? A different frozen giants? Is there a different frozen giant?
Now you talking about the one Nami saw when they were in Punk Hazard and those creatures were frozen?
That's what I thought, but were there other frozen giants on Egghead just now? I'm trying to remember.
I forgot. I don't remember if they were on Egghead.
Either way, I don't think he's there.
I know that
right
there
now.
was people frozen, but from the dead chemical that like Caesar made.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
No,
Punk Hazard.
on Punk Hazard, there was frozen giants. When they
Yeah.
walked into like a corridor, there was a bunch of frozen giants,
Uh-huh.
like just there.
Yeah.
Like that, I guess were being experimented on or whatever. And they never really broke down like what was going on with them. So I assume those are the giants that he's talking about. But
So that's on Punk Hazard.
it could, I just don't remember if we saw frozen giants at any point on Egghead yet. Because I'm not
I don't remember
remembering that.
anybody frozen on Egghead.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, so it's probably
Wait,
those giants.
Punk Hazard
But,
maybe,
and Punk Hazard used to be Vegapunk's island, like he used to
Yeah.
be there. So it's probably the giants he's talking about. He'd have to go there though. Like he'd have to intentionally go there. He'd have to know that they exist. You know what I mean? Like I don't know that he knows that. So it'd be cool. That'd be cool little development.
You look so funny, bro.
I
Every
can't.
time I look at you, I'm like, yo, it's cool here. And I look at you on the screen, and I'm just like, bro.
My tooth just came off.
Oh my goodness.
Now you're like Jimbei more. Like his teeth come out his.
Yeah, like Jimbei after he fought Luffy.
All right. So, next question comes from KJ. He has 3 questions. He told me to pick the best one. So, I guess I will start with the third one because it looks the most complicated. So he says, with elemental hockey looking like a potential go ahead for new abilities in the new world in this final saga, is it safe to assume / project Luffy and Sanji were potentially byproducts from devil fruits, meaning they're basically half human, half devil fruit? Since some of their main attacks having fire / lightning in them, for Judge, we know his reasons why, but maybe Dragon wanted to have / create a for sure Joy Boy type of person that could liberate the Celestial Dragons or Marines or both. Since he obviously failed the first time with the Freedom Fighters he started, thanks again. Good luck tonight. So, what do you guys think?
I was a little distracted. I'm
I'm not
sorry.
gonna lie. My tooth came out. I was trying to put it back
Just
in.
take it out.
It fell out.
You don't even have it in right, bro.
Yeah.
Just take it out. Just take it out, bro.
All right. My fault.
He said no, stay in character, son.
What was the question?
Basically, do we see elemental hockey
was
being
Luffy-
a potential for new abilities in the new world, since Luffy and Sanji are basically byproducts, maybe? And did Dragon happen to experiment with Luffy since he failed the first time with the Freedom Fighters?
I think we talked about this once before on stream, and I don't know if it was the same person who asked the question, but I think a lot of us fell onto we don't think Dragon would do that to his son, in the sense that, like, he's, like, all about freedom and, like, you doing whatever you want to do. I think him pushing and thrusting that kind of responsibility on Luffy just doesn't vibe with what I see from Dragon so far. So, but in general, whether or not they come from some, like, derived from devil fruit usage, maybe Sanji's abilities are the manifestation of, like, toying or playing with devil fruits in general, because he's able to do a bunch of devil fruit seeming things. Like, people have joked for a while he's like a walking devil fruit, but I don't think so with Luffy. I think he ate a devil fruit, and it just happens to be a wilder fruit than what we first imagined. But Sanji, yeah, he seems to be the byproduct of a lot of devil fruit manipulation.
Well,
No, I agree with Sebastian. Like we all said that we don't see Dragon as that character to do that, but Judge seems that evident that he is that character. He already experimented on his sons, and even lost in a way in the process, losing his wife. Kind of not really due to the process, but he cared more about. I'm gonna say cared more about his sons, but he focused more on the experimenting of his sons and treating them and training them. Than all that. So Judge is the type of person to do that, and we see, like, for example, Queen was even.
What? Are you on my phone?
no. Yeah, it's gift subs.
Yeah, gift subs.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, it was like Sebastian Hurley became a member. I was like, how? Hey, my bad.
Yeah, and how like even Queen pointed out, like I said, his last episode too, where he was drawing attention to like how you able to even manipulate fire or turn on fire, right? Like that shouldn't be possible. Like, and also how it doesn't burn you to stay on your skin. It's like because we're playing back to like the hockey manipulation of elements. I kind of alluded that to like honestly as soon as I heard about post time skip, right? I thought because people had flame swords, and now we've seen that too with Kinemon. They didn't really explain it, but how is he able to? They said he's able to cut fire, but also use fire, right? And he's not that's not part of his ability at all. But he's able to cut it and use it. Like he can create fire. Zoro kind of adopted that ability where he can cut it. Zoro's going to make fire, so it's yet to be seen. I don't know if he took that as far as that aspect. But to me, a lot of things you could do things like I think even when I was looking at Luffy, hockey hardening his rubber. It's something called like vocalization, where you can vocalizing his rubber, you can make it harder. So I thought, all right, you're messing with the elements with hockey right there. So I do believe that you can use your hockey to manipulate some type of elements that you can master. So I think that could hopefully plays out into the future. Where I think we're getting a little taste of it already with who was on Whitebeard's crew that had the flame swords, you know. I forgot his name. Was it Dogma?
No, Dogma was
Thunderlord McGuy had the
and Rosa.
Someone had a lightning sword. Someone had a flame sword.
Rosa had the guy with the cigar.
Fosa.
Yeah.
Fosa.
Had the flame sword.
Or Fossa. Whatever.
So to me, these are examples of them probably using their hockey since these are veterans in the New World and they're able to use hockey users. So, because how do you create a lightning sword? How do you create a fire sword? But he had it on his blades fighting. So I believe this is an example of that. How elements that Oda didn't touch upon. It just gave us a little taste. Hopefully we see it more in the future. But again, going back to...
I don't want to taste. I want the whole load.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it'll be an aspect of One Piece that would expand it even more and will make it great. Because a lot of things go into like your will, your dream, and your desire, your imagination thing that you could kind of accomplish almost anything. That would be dope if you could use your hockey to manifest your will and that to use this. Not outside of an ability. Like, all right, I didn't create an ability, but I manifested to use it in my blade, in a different way. And I think Sanji is kind of like Sanji and his brothers are kind of an example of that, like I said before. And Dragon, I don't think Luffy's that. Again, what Sebastian said, I agree that Luffy is just born this way, and he ate ability that matched his personality and why he's able to take it the way it was.
Lionel?
Just on that thought, like I actually don't know because I started thinking of other people who started using elements in their attacks. Like for instance, Brook. He uses ice, but you could think that that's part of his fruit, which, okay, that makes sense. But then I also thought of, the Minks, though. The Minks, a lot of them use lightning, and they didn't attribute that to hockey at all. And we have Kinemon using fire. We don't know if that's part of his hockey or his Fire Fox style, which is part of his swordman style. Like, Luffy's using flames. We don't know where that's from. It might be from hockey or it could be from his ability or from both. But, like, when you start people dabbling into other, like, also, like, Fosa using fire and McGuy, I think, using lightning. We don't know if these are styles or part of the hockey or not. It's not been clarified yet. I would like the idea for hockey to be able to utilize elements, or I probably could really increase the power of the element. Because with Sanji, like, for instance, Sanji's able to use flames, but he wasn't able to use hockey already. But again, he's a different case. But then when he mixed his hockey with his upgrades in his body, like, what Judge did, he got to a whole new element, as in, like, blue flame magma type of thing that he was able to shoot out. That's different than regular fire. But that's just adding him doing his, unlocking his abilities and mixing with his hockey. But we all know that hockey wasn't involved him doing flames in the first place. Mm-hmm. But then you have other questions, all right, what is Zolo doing when, that's not an element, but what is Zolo doing? But, like, I don't know if hockey's fully involved in these things. To me, I feel like they might be just certain aspect of somehow they're able to. It goes to probably the desire thing with the abilities, that maybe the desire thing has more to it than not just the abilities. Because for instance, if you have a desire and you created a whole fruit off that, then maybe you have a desire to manipulate other things. Again, that also probably goes into wills. So again, it gets confusing because, like, all right, what's the difference between desire and will? Because desire manifested fruits, but will is manifested through hockey. But isn't that the same thing? So, like, or need to clarify that, because that kind of gets in, like, they're pretty much almost the same thing at this point. But they're very similar, because they're both manifesting something that you could use and actually become real in a weird way. So, like, So it's kind of, I think it's really interesting. I don't know, like, because there's so many things that you have questions about. All right, if this is hockey, then what is this? All right, because clearly this is not hockey, but this is hockey. But they're both manipulating elements. Again, the Minks are using lightning, and Luffy's doing flames. One might be contribute to hockey. All right, is that contribute to hockey too? But there's not clarification that they're using hockey. Because not all Minks show that they're using hockey at all. Granted, we all know that all of them are fighters because they're trained, but they're not the Kusha where majority of the people are using hockey. I can't say that. So, like, we need more clarification through Oda.
All right. Nick with the 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much, Nick. Appreciate you, bro. Mr. Bushido with the 5 says, Big Mom teams up with Blackbeard pirates. Mary's putting off to Blackbeard. Katakuri betrays Big Mom and frees Law and tells him to save his sister as he fights Big Mom and dies.
Is that like a prediction?
That's a dope fanfic. I don't think it'll happen, but that's dope. Yo, Bushido had a dope theory, but we can't talk about it on this stream.
Yeah.
But next week, I'm breaking it down for you, Bushido, because it's fire.
Jordan with the 8 months says, y'all killing it every week. Seb killing it in that cosplay too. Been watching every week for about 10 months now. Hope for many more to come. Thank you guys for all the content and conversations. Oh, thank you, Jordan. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for becoming a _ʍ𝐽𝐻 member as well, which is the highest tier of membership we have. Mr. Bushido with the $2 says, all of you need to dress up Larry as Carrot.
You should do a stream where we're all dressed up one day. That would be cool.
One day.
Yeah.
One of my hairs is like down my face. I
Listen,
also
bro.
accidentally touched my nose.
Listen, bro.
It's my fault.
If I dressed up as Carrot, y'all would be bricked up, dog.
I can't.
So you don't want that, bro. I'll have you all confused, bro, the whole night.
Oh,
bro.
you confused.
You just need to be convinced.
I can't.
Then we have Roshi with the 5. He says, Seb, glad to see you growing as a person, bro.
Yeah, I don't know why y'all think I hate Jimbei, bro.
He said, Martin Luther Fisher Tiger would be proud. Hashtag stop Fishman hate.
Oh my god.
This is too funny, bro.
Fishman lives matter at this point.
Fishman lives do matter. Bro. Listen, bro. That is hilarious, bro.
Where's right? Is it?
Which one, bro?
I can't.
Which one?
It's not right
You try to
here.
do the hair flip?
I see.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Bro,
bro.
you're gonna touch the paint, though.
Bro, I'm not trying to touch you, bro. There you go.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
I appreciate y'all.
It's like on his eye.
All right, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you so much. That was so itchy, bro. Oh my god.
For our next question, this one's from Oz. Yo, you're gonna have to just somehow deal with me pronouncing some of these words. He says, Larry, I don't know if you have all your questions ready, but I got a good one, I think. What historical connection have y'all made with One Piece? For me, it's the connection between Joy Boy and the poneglyphs and mythological feature like Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl was I think I'm saying that right, was a figure that came to the Aztecs and taught them the meaning of civilization like agriculture, astronomy, architecture, and masonry. Known to have left important dates and symbolism on giant megalithic sites, Xiao-Chi-Calco for Quetzalcoatl, Osiris, and the pyramids of Giza, Viracocha, and Sacsayhuaman megalithic stones, and much more figures in history. I was fighting to read that, bro. I was fighting to read that. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I didn't know what I was saying. I haven't made any particular connections to history like that, except the Fishman arc, obviously with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. I can't give you. I'm not a historian. Like I didn't like history in school either. So, mythologies. I have knowledge, so I don't have knowledge in history like that though.
I mean, there's a lot of historical data points that Oda draws from. I don't know if there's any that I know of that haven't already been discussed in the past. Like any that I can straight up like pinpoint. Like I don't think anyone's touched base on that. But like he draws inspiration from so many different like religions and different walks of life and different moments in time. Like even Lindbergh. This is one that some people might know. You guys might not know. The name Lindbergh is like from the Lindbergh baby incident, where basically somebody kidnapped this former pilot's baby and held it ransom, and like that pilot was like betrayed. I don't know if he betrayed Nazis or he betrayed somebody, but people even use that as a reference to saying that Lindbergh was going to betray the revolutionaries. So like even just down to the characters' names, there'd be references to points in history or moments in history or references to things that happened. So like, I don't know. I like that Lindbergh one just because it was like something I learned in history one day. And it's like, wow, like randomly in anime that I read or manga that I read, this guy's name popped up. It's kind of crazy. But that happens. It probably happens every chapter. We just don't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At this point, like I can assure you, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be some historical reference in a One Piece chapter that most of us might not even catch immediately until we do more research and digging. So I'm sorry if that doesn't answer your question well, but I'll go with the Lindbergh baby as mine. So
yeah, and like Sebastian was bringing out, Oda adds so much, even culture-wise. Like we know even the Shandorians, like they match some type of Native American or culture in that aspect. So like Oda said, he did a lot of research on it. Like even one I noted because I was when I found this out, that was interesting. But again, I struggle with pronouncing them too because so right here in these notes here, these last 2 sentences.
Pangea Castle?
Yeah, the Pangea Castle.
And what the Chateau de Chambord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's located in France. So pretty much that castle, the Penguin Castle, resembles the Chateau de Chambord located in France. So Oda designed some of his buildings in the One Piece to look like official buildings in our day, like one in France. And I think it's like the Penguin Castle is actually named after the real world supercontinent of the same name. So even the name, the Penguin Castle, is named after a supercontinent in the real world. So Oda does do stuff like that a lot, where he adds that into his anime, so people could be like, oh, like you said, you know history. I'm not a history buff that much, but you will see hints of it in his anime, which is pretty dope. So that's one I had, the Pendian Castle, designed in France, and it's actually named after the supercontinent.
Lionel?
Like they all said the same thing pretty much. I was gonna say there's a lot that Oda does, and I actually found out something recently on something that ties into, not really, it's nothing. I just peeped and I wonder if Oda took it from it that I saw was it actually mentioned King of the World, and it's going through history towards like someone who was first known as the King of the World back then, and like in Babylonian and Assyrian time and like Arabic time. I was pretty much because I was studying stuff on the Bible and I saw that and I peeped that too. So like, but I was just looking. It's nothing really. I don't really have it yet, but I just noticed that King of the World. Again, it's nothing related to the Bible. Just actually history itself was somebody was known as the King of the World back in history, and that's back in Babylonian times during that era. If people are familiar with that, and like I wonder again if Oda is nodding towards that history or that type of that type of history towards what's going on in One Piece right now. So again, Oda, like he did so much research, and you see little bits and pieces of culture, history, mythology. So you have a bit of everything on it. So there's if you could peep it, I say shout it out because Oda, his mind is crazy. So like definitely, and again, I'm not a history buff either, but like I find it interesting when Oda links certain actual historical facts relating to his manga. I think that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. One more. I thought you were going to mention the El Dorado.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because back in Jaya, named with One Piece, like the lore or the history of One Piece itself, Bellamy actually names the Emerald City and El Dorado, right? That they're saying that none of these things are real, that they're myths that man made up, right? But El Dorado like goes back to like from I think one of the places is a South American myth of El Dorado where it's like a man of gold and go back to a city of gold. But actually, the El Dorado person is actually the El Dorado place is actually based off a person who one history writes that he actually a man who painted himself gold, right? So it wasn't a city or a man made of gold, but he just painted himself gold and he traveled around like for something. I forgot the history of it, but later on the story changed to it being a man of gold from a city of gold, right? But that's actually part of history that Oda actually threw in there with El Dorado. And there's another one, that European, so different locations have a different myth of El Dorado. That's a South America has one, and so does the European myth has their own of El Dorado. So again, Oda adds all this stuff in there, pretty much of that. If you catch it, you'll know it.
Yeah. $2 from Luffy needs to try some booty meat. Says if Seb likes fish sticks, then he isn't racist. Mr. Bushido with the 2 says the gang just wants excuse to touch you, bro. Mr. Bushido with the 2 says Lindbergh might be a VP clone that broke free. General 30 with the 2 says this is what you get for not putting him on your top 30.
Hey man, I still don't think he's top 30. Like I don't know. I'm feeling pretty top 30 right now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty strong.
But other than that, that's the end of the questions that we got. After the sponsor break, we're gonna start taking phone calls. So, Marv, can you hit that sponsor for us, my guy?
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Have you been struggling lately? Maybe you're having trouble sleeping, difficulty with a relationship, or just struggling from low self-esteem. Listen, I've been there. We've been there. If so, then today's BetterHelp wants to help you. BetterHelp offers licensed therapists who are trained to listen and help you. Talk to your therapist in a private, online environment at your own convenience. There is a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's 20,000 plus therapist network that gives you access to help that may not be available in your area. You just fill out a questionnaire, simple as that, to help assess your specific needs. And then you get matched with the therapist in under 48 hours. Then you schedule a secure video and phone sessions. Plus, you can exchange unlimited messages and everything you share is completely confidential. I happened to sign up at one point regarding my confidence issues. Next thing you know, my confidence issues are not issues anymore. I'm doing pretty well in that area. You can request a new therapist at no additional charge anytime. Join the 2 million plus people who have taken charge of their mental health with an experienced BetterHelp therapist. Special offer goes out to all that One Piece Talk listeners. You get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/TOPT. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TOPT. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode.
You have Wano and you have the Shandorian place. Both of them are like called the City of Gold.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you got some snacks and you used the bathroom a bit and you got some water. So, Marv, if you could throw the phone number up, please, and then we'll just start taking calls.
Oh man, yeah, I can't hear anything. It feels weird. Like I normally hear everything, and now I hear nothing. It's just silence.
So you're not gonna hear the call in then?
I think.
No, that's fine. I'll just tell him the question. Yeah.
Want me to hold it up to you by your ear?
No, don't do it. It's not worth
Do you also
it.
feel weird without your laptop?
Yeah. I don't have my phone either. I feel naked, bro.
Would you? I don't think you would even be able to type with
Yeah,
the
I was
laptop
thinking,
anyway.
Do you
How would
feel
you use
like
it?
you need more blankets and less blankets
At the same time?
Listen, if y'all don't get that reference, you need to watch Walk Hard. It is one of the funniest movies of all time.
Yeah, guys, if you want to call, the number is up. It's pinned at the top of the chat, so more than welcome to.
I have a kind of a small question that Milos got into. Again, Bash is not going to like it, but it's also kind of wild, and I don't know if Oda's going to go to that, but it's pretty much what he kind of mentioned twice already. Because I think we touched upon it a little bit. Remember when Vegapunk mentioned like pretty much, I failed again, blasted. Someone, anyone, I request help. Like then he says, did time space get twisted somehow when I was warping? That that stood out to all of us, and we mentioned it. Then he mentions he's explaining the devil fruits, and he says pretty much, right here, and he says pretty much, but the unnatural status, saying the loathe of the mother of the sea of nature, fitting punishment for all its sins, those with power. So it says, exist in different dimensions, dreamed of by someone else before them.
Hey, remember when Alan said he had a quick question?
Yeah.
No. I was just rereading what this wasn't my question. Again, I don't think I'm actually gonna like it.
Is time travel real?
Kind of, but also it's something with DC and Marvel did already. Different dimensions.
So I think we talked about that, and you weren't on the podcast, that episode. Mm-hmm. But I think we all agreed that the dimensions he was talking about was actually people's minds. Yeah, okay. You can go, Marv. Hey, what's going on? This is Larry from That One Piece Talk. Who are you and how are you?
Hey, it's your boy Nerd Taku.
Hey, what's up, Nerd Taku?
Hey, what's going on?
You can hear it.
A little bit.
What's going on, man?
What's up, man? Long time no call, man.
It has been.
For real?
I'm offended.
Him and Aaron's been a minute.
They working on
I'm
their own
sorry,
thing,
man. I've been doing stuff, and Aaron Tate has been busy too. He's doing his own podcast thing. I got I was doing that thing with Chestnut. I did something with Tachi. Yeah, I'm doing stuff. Sorry, my guys.
Working. No, we appreciate it, bro. Keep hustling.
Do your thing.
Hustling.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in all that stuff before I head out the door in a little bit. So
yeah. Talk to me, man.
But I got a question for you guys. So when Dr. Vegapunk is talking about his devil fruit theory, do you think that there's something more to it that he's missing? And because obviously he says it's just a theory, which is fine, but a lot of people are taking it as since it's just a theory, it's not actually what happened, and there might be a missing component that he just doesn't have yet. And do you believe that there is a deeper meaning behind 𝐸𝐸 and the world government making sure that even the baseline information about devil fruits was lost in the Void Century, and even still is lost, basically?
So one, yes, I think I said on the pod before that I think that a lot of what Vegapunk said is probably accurate and true, because the way that Oda portrays him, he wants him to be looked at as the smartest and probably the best theorist since Clover. He wants to be looked at in that light where you take almost everything he says to be factual. But the fact that he left it open-ended to be a theory, I think it means that there's some element of it that's wrong, or there's just a missing piece. What that piece is, I couldn't tell you. But I think what he said is right and is correct. I think there's just an element there that's going to make it all click, that we have to wait till we get full Void Century lore dumps before we get it. But that's just how I view it. I don't think it's supposed to be the gospel yet, But that's me.
You guys want to go?
I mean, you for some reason made me think of when you said a missing piece, and I'm thinking of, because we already had Toki, right? And she was from the past, and she traveled to the future and stuff. And people think, oh, she might travel to the future again. I don't think she is, but that made me think there might be the missing piece might be somebody who actually was there at that time and who survived. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, the only person I think of who was already a mystery, who had never seen, and they mentioned once, was, and what going by what that person said, is the Burning Man. The man with the burn on his person, whatever, or burn scar, or whatever. I don't know. He could be a person who actually lived back then and saw or experienced or knows a lot more of what happened during that time. That's our missing piece. That nobody knows where he is. So that's what I don't know why, but it came up to that. So that could be our missing piece. That might clarify clarify what Vegapunk is already saying and telling us, and it might fill in that missing gap that Vegapunk is missing.
Law?
I think actually there's a few missing pieces. Lionel made one with the Burning Man, but also because I believe that the D Clan has an affiliation or maybe even part of that ancient kingdom, but I don't think they make up the whole ancient kingdom. I think there's something else there, and I think also a missing piece is pretty much what the Tata people remembered. Because they don't actually, or don't remember.
People?
The Tata,
bro.
the Tata, whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Because they do, actually, what I should say, they don't remember because they brung out how the rivalry or the oppression they've been suffering from the Doflamingo's family.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce things for the
Don Quixote.
Don Quixote people. They've been suffering from the oppression from them has been for decades, centuries, like for hundreds of years, right? Mm-hmm. And then they kind of looked at they may have possibly been around since the Void Century, right? But they have no memory at all for whatever reason. It made me even think of, like, for example, whose ability took away people's memories besides from puddings? But also part of that, the Flamingo's family was that girl, Sugar, right? What if that ability also was back then where, like, because you know how some abilities could, like, all right, once you get hit with it, some has lasting effects. It's like they died. So what if someone they knew, like they said they're the Tata people, the Tata has knew the people from the ancient kingdom, right? And something happened resulting where like Sugar's ability played a factor in where they turned a important person piece in there into a toy, and then they died, or the toy was destroyed. So
They
that
just never
memory,
got that memory back.
so they never got that memory back. So until this day, they still can't remember anything from that Void Century. Right, so that's what they were like. I think there's a couple of missing pieces here, and also the reason why the world government would want to kill Vegapunk because they're going to value his mind over Clover's. As great as Clover's mind is, his mind still was 500 years in advance. So showing that Vegapunk's come this far is like, yes, he's an asset, but it's like you're too smart to know all this information. You're going to uncover it, and also how you kind of want to share what you're learning with the world already. Like you kind of want to build one brain where they can access it. That means everyone will have access to the ideas that we're trying to block, right? And you kind of want to share that with everyone. You're too smart because like Vegapunk will figure out everything because they covered up so much, but still pieces are leaking out. But the big pieces, they probably believe that Vegapunk will probably be the one to figure all this out. He's too smart. We got to kill him off before he shares this with anyone. And we have 6 satellites who are all doing different things. That's too uncontrollable, right? So that's why I believe that the world government is like. That's why we have to shut Vegapunk down because he's too smart that he's going to put all the pieces together. His mind expands too much, too fast. And with the satellites helping him do that, it's too all over the place. They can achieve so much in such a little time. So that's why I think there's a bunch of pieces here that we better get uncovered, right? But I think there's more than one. I think there's a few here that we need to figure out here. And I believe that because I don't believe that 𝙏𝙗𝙀 is the ancient kingdom itself. I believe they're part of it, affiliation from it. I think a big piece, but I kind of feel like there's something more. And it could even have to do with Nika. Like I said before, I believe that he existed before Joy Boy. So like before Joy Boy was a thing, I believe Nika existed before that. So I think that's a piece there, part of the kingdom.
All right. I think for me, I think the most important piece is information. And I know that seems very on the T, like it's not, it's very obvious. But the government's sole purpose for most of the series has been like oppressing information, keeping it down. They don't want everybody to know anything, right? And now that we have confirmation that information itself or the lead up to belief tends to create things within the One Piece world. And that's very, very hard for the world government to accept because once somebody or enough people believe in something, they probably know it can create devastating weapons or threats to their rule overall, right? So, when we talk about like the ancient kingdom, I have a very big belief that the ancient kingdom also ran off of ancient energy, right? Like Vegapunk said, but that energy could either be people's dreams or 𝙏𝙀 itself. The only things that are everywhere and could be grabbed at any point are those 2 energy sources, I believe. And that's what probably fueled that robot. But it also probably made the One Piece real. And, Roger, first episode created the One Piece itself probably. It probably didn't exist. But due to the fact that he let out information, it would make sense that this One Piece was created out of nothing, but out of something of belief, the same way devil fruits were. So I would say that he is on the money, and there isn't really anything missing except proof of his theory. And that's just my guess. So
I want you to know that is One Piece madness. I want you to understand. Yeah, I need you to know that.
There's been too many times in the series where people have believed something and it just was there.
Honestly, going towards that kind of goes again what Relief said. He said the power of not. He said, without doubting that is power, or the power of not doubting.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm saying that. How do I say this? You're saying that this One Piece was created by Roger telling people that it exists, versus him going there and discovering it himself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like that's like.
He
wouldn't even have proof. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Roger wouldn't even have actual proof if that was the case. It would just be like, yo, I'm just believing mad hard that I found something one day.
This is where it gets tricky. Maybe the D clan, since they ran off of this infinite energy of belief and dreams and willpower, you could choose which one you choose to believe the ancient energy is. When he wrote it on the poneglyph, like, yo, the One Piece isn't real, but if you generated enough belief, it could be one day. And he was like, yo, this is funny. And everybody started laughing because all they chased was a dream. But there wasn't enough belief that it was real. So then Roger goes, what's the best thing I can do in order to initiate that this is real? And he says it on the execution platform.
So that, I just don't know if I would like it. You know what I mean? Like, I actually do get that. And I see where you're coming from now because I didn't see it before. But like, I just don't know if I would like it. Go ahead.
I want to say one thing before you go, Notaku. What you just said made me think of something, and I don't like it at all. Granted, I'm not, only because of what it made me think of. I'm not too familiar with this show or whatever, but you made me think of Peter Pan, bro.
Yo, right?
Because
yeah, bro.
You know how they get us like, just imagine. I remember talking about you could just imagine you have food because they were broke, they were poor, they had nothing. But if you imagine you had food there and you wish it, dream it, they're able to eat a full course meal with like all the foods they wanted. And what bothers me the most about it too, because I kind of believe that Gold Roger resembles that pirate that Peter Pan kept fighting. Yeah, I swear, the red cape and everything.
So you know how this connects even more? So there's one person in the series right now that could actually think of something himself and make it real.
Luffy.
Yeah.
Don't know, Taco.
I was literally just about to say that. I'm like, we know that the main character literally has a power where if he literally just imagines something, which is basically just like the same thing as dreaming it up, he can make it come into reality. So it wouldn't be crazy to think that. But to Larry's point, I also thought that it felt more, and this is going to sound crazy, more like Santa Claus.
Yo.
Like if you believe in him in like all the movies, he exists or he has more power.
Taco.
So what I was
today,
thinking,
I was on Discord with Ragnar, who is Lord Vegeta on YouTube, and Party Pete and Cube, and I literally made that same connection where I was like, yo, like, this believing stuff is just like believing in Santa Claus. But we were talking about Luffy's dream, right? We weren't talking about the One Piece in general. We were talking about Luffy's dream and whether or not him believing it could, or Roger having the same dream could derive from like a child, is the same as a child believing in Santa Claus and like trying to make Santa Claus real kind of thing. And like now y'all are connecting these two things and I'm scared that we really might get Santa Claus One Piece like kind of stuff. But go on, I'm sorry.
But it also kind of, it's almost like Larry said, but I think of it slightly different. I think of it almost as if in Joy Boy's era, it was a very big era of dreams where everyone could just believe what they want to and try to manifest their own destiny. And then it just happened over time, like through natural evolution, that devil fruits were made from those dreams. But the One Piece could have actually existed in Joy Boy's time because dreams were so abundant. And then it stopped existing because the world government stepped in and basically has crushed all dreams until this point. And Roger got to Laugh Tale and laughed because he thought it was so funny that if you really truly believe in something, it can exist. And so he thought that was hilarious, but he was like, it doesn't exist in this era. And I was too early because the dreams haven't been able to flourish. And so he set out to basically start the Great Pirate Era so that people would have dreams, so that dreams would be abundant enough that the One Piece would come back into existence.
Yo, I'm kind of believing this now, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yo.
It's just so convoluted.
It's made me think of when we first met Blackbeard.
Yeah, I thought the same
Yo,
thing.
right? A man's dreams will
Never die. A
Yeah.
man's dreams will never die. He said that new age that they're talking about is crap. It is nonsense. The day when pirates' dreams or man's dreams will never die. And now I even think of if Luffy's dream is, I wish I could make everyone's dreams come true. If that's it, because that seems something like
Oh
a
my
child.
God.
You know, like the people laugh at you. Like, what? That's not going to happen. Like, you're not going to make everyone's dreams come true. But what if that's Luffy's goal? Like, after I become Pirate King, I'm going to make everybody's dreams come true.
This does seem like some Peter Pan stuff.
Yeah, Peter Pan stuff. It's like Peter Pan stuff, and then
it's-
as Joy Boy,
it's
you
funny.
could do stuff. You could kind of do it.
It's funny because, and this came up in that conversation I had earlier today. And what we were talking about was my whole pushback was I could totally see that for Luffy. I couldn't see it for Roger. And that's why they related to maybe it's something Roger read in a book when he was younger. And there was a whole theory about Roger and O'Hara, which I won't get into because I think they might be dropping a video on it. But I don't know. It's wild that this is twice I'm having this conversation. I've been convinced both times, low-key. But
But to just go over my original point, we kind of went off for a second. But what Dr. Vegapunk's Devil Fruit theory and why the knowledge has basically been taken away, and no one the only person we know that has read the Devil Fruit Encyclopedia now is Blackbeard and Vegapunk. Like, we've never seen it. There's no one else has really talked about it, but it would make sense that you would want to get rid of something like that if you're the world government and 𝐸𝐸, because if 𝐸𝐸 and the world government want to suppress people's dreams, telling them that they can get these fantastic fruits that all they need to do is eat them and they can do these amazing things, like be the, embodiment of fire. They could be made out of fire. They could be able to use magnetism at will. They turn into a phoenix. Like, all these things would give people almost like the spark to be able to dream, because it sounds like a crazy, comic book you would read, or, a fiction. But if you even just read a fiction, something as simple as, just finding out that you can do these things, or someone is capable of this. It'd be like if you read Superman and you were like, man, it would be so cool to be able to, be faster than a speeding bullet, or jump over, skyscrapers in a single bound and fly. Like, all of these things would make you dream about them in a way that's very small, but any sort of dreams for the world government is a bad thing. And I think that that's where, like, 𝐸𝐸 and the world government said, we need to stifle all dreams. And me and Chestnut talked about that a little bit, and then she talked about how, like, there's no holidays in world government areas because that causes people to dream, of a better life. So I think that that's kind of key in keeping them in check. So that's why they would not let something like that out.
That made me think of Odin's wife. They said she was from where?
800-year void.
800-year void, right? Because I mean, think of going back what you're saying there, talking about the dreams, right? And then how the ancient kingdom, right? The idea of things, right? That the world government or the 20 kingdoms wanted to snuff out. It made me think of, like, what if back then was that ancient kingdom was like the birth of abilities. So now you have these people who can access, like, through their dreams or through their create abilities, right? And the world government, the 20 kingdoms, saw that as chaos. You know, so they wanted to control that to kill them. So what if that ancient kingdom, going by what you're saying, Nakama, with the birth of dreams, that from that kingdom was the birth of abilities?
What theory did I just tell you about today, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, about the
Yeah, I 100% believe that. In fact, I also kind of fall in line with that, and I think that that's why that big giant on Egghead only moved during the Ancient Kingdom's time, and also during the Fishman Revolution, because what better time to have copious amounts of dreams is when people are dreaming for nothing but freedom. And I think that that's part of why it was powered enough to go up the red line and attack 𝑚𝑟𝑖𝑗𝑤𝑎, because during that revolution, dreams were so abundant in that small area, and Fishman Island is right under the red line. So the dreams and the power that they produce was making it to that giant robot to power it up the red line. But in the midst of everything, maybe it just wasn't able to reach. Maybe there's a distance where dreams can't reach. And in 𝑚𝑟𝑖𝑗𝑤𝑎, they don't dream for anything because they consider themselves gods. They already have everything. So there wasn't enough dreams to keep it powered.
Or the fishman was lacking.
Hey.
Whoa, that's,
Chill out.
that's
None of
Seb's
that.
territory.
None of that today.
You better back off that.
Listen, man.
None of that today.
That was a good question, though. Thank you, Notaku.
Yeah, man.
Of course, I always love calling. I like to get some time to do it here and there, but I've been lacking a little.
Nah, it's all right, man. Keep doing your thing, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right, talk to you later, bro. Later.
All right, you guys have a good night.
Yeah,
Have a
you
good
too.
one. Have a good one.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. Good question.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
it got me
dope.
thinking.
Yeah, it opened up a lot. Like,
If you would have
possibilities.
listened to my theory when I was telling it to Lionel, you would have been like, hey, what's going on? This is Larry from That One Piece Talk. Who are you and how are you?
What's up, fellas? It's Red Hair Chankdom.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey,
How are
Shank
you?
them, man. What's up?
Seb loving the fit.
I appreciate
I got
it,
about
man.
10 screenshots. It's going to be my screensaver for a month.
Awesome.
Nice.
So just wanted to call out that convo you guys just had with Taku was super interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
and I
definitely
think
a good
it
one.
kind of fits with an idea. I posted it in the Discord a little while back, but I wanted to hear you guys talk about it on stream. So if Luffy can make anything out of whatever the hell, flame, smoke, whatever that is on top of his head, and the basic things we know about Nika being that, you know, he brought smiles to people's faces and he liberated slaves and all these things, that kind of leads me to believe that the original Nika brought smiles to people's faces and fulfilled wishes by creating devil fruits. So if you follow the logic, devil fruits are made from dreams and wishes. Nika brings smiles to people's faces. Therefore, he fulfills their wish by granting them a devil fruit, which would also explain why a lot of the fruits are like goofy or overpowered, because he has a childlike imagination. You know what I mean?
Dude, the Santa Claus parallels never end.
Dude,
Yeah.
and Peter Pan. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just great. Because now I'm thinking, like, you ask Santa for whatever you wish for, and if you're good or whatever, he gives it to you. It's like, if
But
they
I
were
think
doing
that-
that with
I
Nika,
think the key,
where it's like,
the
I want to
key
be a
part
phoenix.
of it kind of is like, if devil fruits are wishes and dreams fulfilled, right? Why are some of them so freaking weird? Like, what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why are some of them so odd and strange? And the only explanation you can really come up with, on my side at least, is that some individual person was responsible for coming up with that, and they had a goofy ass personality.
Right.
That actually made me think of pretty much, right? Because like that goes into like people's dreams, and Nika's fulfilling those dreams, you know, through his imagination, because he could create anything. So he's creating those dreams into real reality. But I'm trying to think of, is he going into their dreams, or in wishes, or are they physically telling? Like, are they physically telling them?
Based on like the lore of him, you know, arriving in places and freeing people and fulfilling their wishes, it would probably be more like wherever he showed up, there would be a problem, and everyone would say like, "Oh man, if we could just have the power to create water, you know, or something like that." And he was like, "Oh, cool, I can do that."
Yeah, and I agree with you with that because I was kind of getting to that too, and it probably goes on to, for example, whoever is Nika at that time, it could match to like whatever their understanding or their imagination regarding that specific dream or wish. You know, like I wish I can like I wish I had the power to operate on anyone. And then he was like, in sincerity, he was like, oh, okay. And in his mind, the person, Nika at that time, created with his idea of like what that ability should be able to do and copy with their wish. So it could be also the fact that whoever is Nika at that time, regarding their personality, how they perceive it, how they understand it, and their imagination to grant someone those abilities.
The only thing I have is, if for instance, then that means Nika should be like, because they said that Nika
I
was
know exactly where you're going. Well, how did he get his fruit?
Exactly. Because they said that if Nika was a god, then that means somebody had to imagine him being a fruit. Because he had to be actually a little person
I
first.
think I can square it by saying that the original devil fruit, there was only one. Because if it's a tree of Adam Bible allegory, there would only be one fruit. The tree of knowledge of good, the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. And therefore, there would only be one original devil fruit user. So Nika ate the first devil fruit, the real one, that lets you do basically anything, and created the others.
Okay, actually, that makes sense.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
This also sounds crazy, but if you say like you go into just to add into that, what if? Because like go back to like all right, let's go a little different. The Monkey King. If the Monkey King is said like is the original, right? You know how the different lords of Monkey King that he could like do almost anything. He's supposed to be like the Asian culture's like top, like kind of like untouchable like deity, or like he kind of like overthrows or takes down all these other gods.
I
or
think I
whatever.
know where you're going now.
That what if each fruit is a branch off him? Because there was one there where he could like I brought up, he could take out his hair and like that one clone of his could do almost anything. Yeah, he could call that power back, but also he could like live freely at his own will, right? So what if the original form of the Monkey King, right? But all these other things is like branches off from his ability, or his power, or his imagination, or him granting something for somebody else. Yeah.
Well, what's funny about the Monkey King is, if at the end of the series, you know how we see throughout the series that the stories of people get passed down, but they're not entirely correct. Like names are wrong or certain like details are wrong. What if eventually Monkey D. Luffy Pirate King just gets shortened to Monkey King?
Hey,
Monkey
they
King.
turned Gold D. Roger into Gold Roger. I could definitely see them creating Monkey King.
Luffy, 200 years from now, he's the Monkey King. Nobody knows his actual name.
Yeah.
And you eat the Monkey King fruit? And that's where Sun Wukong comes from. No, I'm kidding.
See, my other thing was I was gonna say
One Piece is the origin story for
the origin story to the Monkey King.
My other thing was that it really started off that Nika, like, because he's supposed to be a god, that it started off where Nika is a deity, a god, and someone wished that I wish that you could always be around. Like, I wish that you could always be here, or you could, something I could have your power. Then he made a fruit. And that became
allow that to happen.
And then it could be passed on. Because if I die,
there has to be some implication of like, this is kind of on the fly, but like there's some implication that whoever ate the first fruit or the first fruit users or whatever, nature hates the fruits. It's an unnatural event, which ties in further with the biblical allegory of like the first person wasn't supposed to eat the fruit. So I can't really see it being a gift from like a naturally occurring deity if the result is that nature hates it. You kind of feel my logic there?
Yeah.
I do. My only rebuttal to that is like, for example, like from what I remember, there's different stories about the Monkey King, is that all the other gods hated the Monkey King. So say like it came from the Monkey King, or that the Nika, if you're supposed to represent the Monkey King in this case. And if nature itself is supposed to be like the mother nature is supposed to be like a god itself, they would hate any branch from him. You get what I'm saying? Like they would hate the Monkey King and all that he does, because the Monkey King battled all the other ones, and then he eventually became like the strongest or whatever. And during that mythology of the Monkey King, so if all the other gods hated him, they would hate his offspring, so to speak, of the fruits, because they all came from him and bring in what they bring. What they bring.
I like that.
His destruction. So Mother Nature would battle against the Monkey King. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I guess he is trying to overcome like the natural hurdles that people face. You know what I mean? So he is opposed to nature.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for taking my call. That's all I got.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
thank you, man.
Great question.
Yeah, another
Yeah,
one.
that was it. That was awesome. Thank you.
Happy to help. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, you too, Shankdom. Later, bro.
There's a lot you could go into. Like,
I don't know, I
Yeah.
like that Monkey King theory. So like they abbreviate his name going forward. But I feel
Yeah,
like
that was really
that bleeds into the world government is still doing the bullshit that they do now.
I mean, they always
So-
been doing it, so.
But like Luffy's supposed to stop that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It increased, so it's like we have, but it increased another name for it. You have Nika, Joy Boy, and the Monkey King. It all comes with like different names, but it's all the same person.
Hey, what's going on? This is Larry from that One Piece Talk. Who are you and how are you?
Yeah, it's me, Bushy Brows. My first time calling in.
Hey, what's
Hey.
up, man?
What's up?
How's it going? Thank you for
Hey,
calling.
Couldn't hear the name.
Bushy
No,
Bro.
yeah, I usually listen to y'all on Spotify, but I finally got time today to watch the stream, so I want to call in. You know.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, nice to
I
have you.
appreciate it.
What's your question?
Yeah. So my question is, so you remember how Oda said not too long ago that there's gonna be some kind of like final war, final battle royale type of event coming up soon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that we could see like the other Straw Hats like learn hockey, get some kind of devil fruit, like power up in a sense? Because I feel like as they are now, maybe aside from like Monster Trio and like Jimbei, I think we could see like Robin, Frankie, maybe at least like Brooke or the rest of them get some form of hockey or devil fruit. I feel like they might need it in a sense.
You mean Monster Trio and Sanji, right?
Yeah.
Yo, facts.
Yeah.
No, Sanji's not changing. He's always Monster Trio.
I mean,
I don't know about
if
that
we're
today.
changing it, Luffy's it's Sanji, Zoro, and Jimbei, because Luffy might be in a tier of his own, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what I think, but yeah. So what do you guys think?
most
We could
likely.
see, like, yeah. I mean, Jinbei's around, and I feel like he would be like a good teacher for like hockey or something, because I feel like the crew as it is now, they may be like Yonko level, but if they're all doing like one-on-ones against like other Yonko crews, they might not be able to hold down outside of like the top four.
So
I mean, I'm just saying.
So I feel you on that, but I also have some pushback because they just went up against Kaido's crew, and Frankie was able to take out Sasaki, and Robin was able to take out Black Maria, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like Nami with her little mini upgrades was able to take out Ulti with some help, but like, it's like, what Yonko crew? What are they bringing out that's much stronger than those people? Like, and
I
even
mean,
then,
for,
even
like,
if they get like
Shanks'
minor
crew, I'm
upgrades, it's like
assuming-
they've already been able to fight and compete with these people. Like, I don't think we ever want to get to the point where the Straw Hats are so overpowered that things aren't a risk for them. There's no tension. It's just like, oh well, they're just gonna walk through anything. Like, I don't want Frankie
Yeah.
to be out here Admiral level. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Frankie at Yonko 1 level, like Commander 1 level.
Yeah, no.
Like,
I feel you,
yeah.
but I feel like at least like observation hockey, like Usopp, we know has like some sort of feel to it, and he's the sniper, so it makes sense for him to have it. And I don't know if you guys saw film. Well, you guys saw Film Red, right? He kind of like awakened it to a further. I mean, it's not 100% canon, but if we could see him getting it, because I feel like as a sniper, observation hockey is kind of something he needs. And, maybe like Chopper can have his own form of observation where just like looking at someone as a doctor, he'll know what's wrong with them. I feel like that would be like dope and different from Chopper's sense at least. Or Nami, like being able to predict the weather. Well, she already kind of can, but like predict the weather in a sense.
Well, I want to let you guys go, but if they get upgrades in the things that make them unique versus like power upgrades, I'll always side with that. Like you just said, something that Chopper could get, observation hockey, or maybe it doesn't make him an elite fighter, but it makes him able to diagnose a patient much quicker. I would love those
just
things.
by, like,
you know what I mean?
I feel like that would be dope. It's different, and we haven't really seen observation hockey in that sense, but I think it could be done,
Yeah.
Like, it would make sense to. And, maybe, Brooke, I think at the minimum should learn armament as a swordsman. I feel like majority of the swordsmen at this point know some form of observation. I feel like it would make sense. Not like Rio or anything crazy like that, but who knows? Maybe just something. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to spit things out here.
What you guys think?
I mean, how Oda sets it up, like they are gonna learn something that's tailored to them. Like for instance, Nami, like she's focused on weather. Like most is gonna be added. Like we think right now, maybe in this arc, who's probably most likely gonna get power up is Frankie, Usopp probably, and maybe even Nami again. Besides,
because of Vegapunk, right?
Yeah, Vegapunk and the whole thing with weather and his knowledge with that, especially Frankie, like he loves Vegapunk and that's his boy. Usopp might have something because he has some type of things fixed on, like his not thing is just on sniping, but his overall fighting style is kind of broad with Usopp with his sniping thing. But
I agree.
But honestly, for them, I don't see certain people learning like hockey hardening, but some of them learning like Usopp learning observation. I don't think Nami will learn hockey hardening, but again, observation I could see would be a good fit for her. Versus Robin.
Yeah, I agree.
Robin, it was new to us that she learned a little bit of fisherman karate. Like that was
Yeah, sorry, my dog kind of coming at it.
But again, that was something that's new to us. Like I don't know if anybody called or expected Robin to learn fisherman karate. But that could be a branch off, like, again, that something that Jimbei could physically teach her and prolong her skill in. But, like, I'm for people learning hockey or whatever, but towards the Straw Hats, I think it's going to focus on what they're tailored to already. Like, whether it's, or if it's a surprise for us, that's cool. But if Robin could learn hockey hardening, true, but also we don't know if she could even awaken her ability. Her things might be awakening her ability because that transformation, we don't know if that's awakening. It wasn't clarified.
Yeah.
So if she
I definitely feel like there's still room to grow for everyone, not just
exactly.
like the lower half of the crew. Because we never know what's coming up. Like I was just thinking, I'm like, oh, if they're going against all these other foes, like they might need to grow. You never know, because Blackbeard's crew is looking kind of menacing, assuming that most of them have some kind of devil fruit or hockey. I'm assuming. I mean, that's just what we've gotten from the context so far. And I'm always down to see these characters grow, not in just like a character sense, but like in a power sense.
Yes, definitely. And that's what I was going to mention too about the Blackbeard Pirates. Because, all right, what Yonkers they have left, they're really going to fight. I don't fully believe that all the Straw Hats are going to fight the Red Hair Pirates. It may just be a few, especially if they it's Shanks and Luffy. But the main point that we know that the Straw Hats are going to fight was the Blackbeard Pirates. The lineup, we all matched up that's going to be a lineup fight up, where you're going to have captain for captain, right hand for right hand, and so forth and so forth, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel like most of the fights be going anyways.
Yeah.
Like,
we kind of wish them for like all of them that the Straw Hats should be getting lineup fights with these pirates, but it just happens not to be always the case. But I definitely do see growth through the other Straw Hats. I also think they need it because, especially too, like for example, we saw Nami and Usopp on Wano against the Beast Pirates. They didn't really get their one-on-ones. Yeah, they kind of beat YouTube, but again, can we believe that the Vol or the Blackbeard Pirates are stronger than that? I don't know, but those were hockey users, especially Yuti, and they couldn't measure up at all. Like if Big Mom wasn't there, they die, they lose.
I was about to say that if
exactly.
Big Mom wasn't there, they weren't going to stand a chance.
Exactly. So with them, if they're going to be taking on other, like the Blackbeard Pirates, who they're probably going to need it because these are all at least level 6 prisoner level strength, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they definitely need to grow into to compete against the Blackbeard Pirates because that's a one-on-one matchup. They're all going to get that. So I believe they need to grow. I would like hockey because they already have it already. It's already in them. They just need to awaken it and utilize it. Yeah. So that would be dope. Yeah. Increasing your weather, that's fine. And increasing your ability, that's great. But also hockey, but that's going to be a power, especially they're going to be fighting other people to use it because am I really going to believe that they're going to get so good with their abilities or like for fruits wise or so good with their weather that hockey's not they're going to overpower someone's hockey?
Yeah.
But if they can,
and also like if they're going against the Marines, most of the Marines like Vice Admiral and above know hockey.
Exactly.
They're going to need it.
I get where you guys are coming from, But in my mind, a part of the shtick of One Piece is these weaker people figuring out a way to win fights against people stronger than them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I
at
mean,
least maybe
it's
that's
kinda been
pre-time
like
skip
that
stuff, but
throughout
like
the
Chopper
whole
wasn't
show.
stronger than what was that dude's name? Who was doing this stuff on Sky Island? He wasn't stronger. Gatsu.
Oh, okay,
He figured out a way to defeat him. Nami's not stronger than anybody she defeats. She figures out a way to defeat them. Same with Usopp. You know, like Frankie and Robin, yeah, like they'll end up winning fights, but it's because they're fighting around their weight class. You know what I'm saying? Like a part of what makes that lower half of the Straw Hats interesting and when they fight is that they have to figure out a way. If they're just, okay, well now I'm strong enough using hockey to defeat you, that's just not how Oda writes it. You know what I mean? It's just not.
You think?
So
Yeah, no, I definitely see where you're coming from though.
Mhm.
Just because that's not how it's been throughout the whole series, you know?
No, see, I understand that, but the thing is, but look where we are right now. They went from figuring out a way to win those fights. Now they're figuring out a way partly, but it's basically them getting saved, someone intervening, because they keep coming across people that they can't beat against.
Listen, if you're asking us to get to the point where they're strong enough where they can get back to just figuring out a way to win, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I just would feel weird seeing Nami just straight up overpower one of these people.
Yeah.
Because she's too strong.
Yeah.
That would
I
look
feel
weird to me. I don't know.
But like, if in her level of comp, I don't think it would, because obviously we're not gonna see her overpower someone like the level of Queen strength, you know. But someone like that she can overpower because.
Depends who you talk to.
Shout out to Chestnut. Yo.
It's like it's one of those things. I would like to see them, especially for Luffy's crew, and this is the future Pirate King's crew, or you can even say the Pirate King's crew, where they could hold their own. You know, like for example, when I saw this is after this is post time skip, right? But we are kind of gauging how strong like the Straw Hats were. But when I saw Sanji holding his own against Virgo, right? Who's the right-hand man, I guess, you know, of the Flamingo and of the level of a high-level vice captain of the vice admiral, I'm sorry, of the Marines. I was like, let's go, you know? Like this is how strong Sanji is in a weakened body state. He's holding his own and actually winning in this fight. So I like to see Luffy's crew hold their own to their level of comp. Right? Instead of like where they may be somewhere around that level, yeah, they need to be completely saved by someone inside the crew or someone outside the crew. Mm-hmm. Like I like to see them hold their own, and that's what I want to see. Is what I'm getting at.
That's fair.
You know?
Yeah, I hear you. Like I agree with like almost everything you just said, but just like some of the crew members learning some form of hockey that suits their like specialties, you know, Usopp sniping, Nami in the weather, Chopper being able to instantly like figure out what's wrong with someone. I just feel like that would be like dope and unique to them. Maybe not necessarily like grow in the sense that they could hold their own against like everyone, but just see them grow and tap into, you know, hockey, something that Kaido said is like, oh, everyone who goes above and beyond is because of hockey, something along those lines, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how I feel. I appreciate letting me call in and stuff.
No, of course.
Of course,
Great to have you.
Anytime.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Oh,
Appreciate
just
you.
one thing I wanted to bring up. This happened like a month or two ago on TikTok. I don't know who's running the TikTok account, but on some cosplays, y'all just be showing up on some comment sections. I was like, hey, yo, I don't know if you remember. I was like, whoever running this account got to take it down a notch. I just want to apologize. I don't know who it was.
It was me.
It had to be Larry.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, I don't know if it's Larry or Seb running this account, but like, hey, yo, y'all got a reputation to uphold. I just thought it was funny. I just wanted to knock on
I
y'all.
don't care, dog.
It was wild or something?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Larry be wilding on
Yeah, no, I
TikTok.
don't remember. I just remember commenting to y'all, and then Part Vision come out of nowhere, be like, LMAO. I was like, hey, yo, what you doing here, bro? Yeah.
Thank you, man. I
Okay.
appreciate you, man.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good one, man.
Have a good night.
See y'all. Thank you.
It's funny. I don't do anything wild on TikTok though. If Gia posts, I'll probably
I was about to
I'll probably throw a little fire emoji under it.
Mm-hmm.
The post
Larry
would,
be creeping on TikTok.
post
He
would be a
ain't
little
really-
weird, but
he
that's
be,
about it.
He be forgetting to switch channels. He be
I don't
sliding
do
in
anything too
DMs.
crazy. I don't slide in DMs at all.
Gotcha.
Hey, what's going on? This is Larry from That One Piece Talk. Who are you and how are you?
Yo, this is Terrence.
Hey, what up,
Hey,
Terrence? How are you,
Terrence, what's
Brody?
up?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
I'm all right. What's up with you, man?
Not much. Hey, I just thought about something. You know, with Kizaru coming to Egghead, you know, there's a lot of possibilities with that. You know, we might see finally see an Admiral go all out. We might see a Logia awaken. And there's a lot, really, when you think about it, the more I thought about it, there's a lot of possibilities with Kizaru's light fruit, you know. More than just like the ground becoming light. We might see him do like illusions, you know, like a whole lot of hallucinations, and maybe even turn invisible, because you know he's light. And also, when I think about it, a lot of people think that, you know, at the in the final battle against the Marines, that Kizaru is going to be Sanji's opponent. But what if Kizaru is like the main villain of this arc? And it takes a lot to defeat him here. But think about it like this: he's one of the OG admirals, right? The OG admirals are like having shown, at least been shown, to be on like a different level. And what if it takes like he has an incredible showing here as like a main villain of this arc? It takes a whole lot to take him down. Like what if he fights Zoro and Brook? They give somewhat of a fight, but then he beats them, and he gives the crew a heck of a challenge. It takes Luffy to defeat him, and then, you know, he gets taken down this arc. If that happens, what do you think Sanji and Zoro would fight then? You know, and then, you know, the Fujitora and Green Bull, you know? If you think about it, we know Luffy is fighting at night. We know that for sure. And then, you know, after that, there's the three admirals, and you wonder, like, who's going to fight the three admirals? You would think Zoro, maybe Fujitora, and Sanji, Kizaru. But then you wonder who's fighting Ryokugu. You know what I mean? But if there's already one admiral down, then, you know, then there's two then there'll already be two admirals. Then, you know, right there, those two, we already know Zoro and Sanji's fighting them. Then Luffy's fighting Akainu. So if that were to happen, who do you think would be the final opponent for Zoro and Sanji and the Marines? And how do you think this battle with Kizaru is going to go down?
Okay, so, and it's funny that you say this, because this is something that I've talked about a few times in the past, that, like, I could see Luffy doubling up. I said it on the podcast before, where I say Luffy might fight two admirals, one before the other one, because Luffy tends to fight, like, the fourth guy sometimes in arcs, and then he fights the biggest bad in the arc. That's why a lot of people thought Luffy was going to fight Jack. But, like, in general, Luffy tends to fight, like, or at least have a dealing or defeat whoever the fourth strongest person is. And then, like, Zoro and Sanji fight the second and third strongest person, and Luffy fights the strongest person. So this would be Luffy getting the fourth strongest person an arc earlier, or several arcs earlier, if he fights and defeats Kizaru here. And then Zoro would just fight Fujitora. I know a lot of people assume Fujitora might, you know, skip out on the fight here. I'm one of those people that think he might as well, because I don't think he's like a true believer in the Marines. Like, he might have ulterior motives. But if Kizaru gets taken out straight up, I don't know if, like, Oda would have him straight up lose a fight and then come back to lose another fight. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't see Oda doing that. So if Kizaru loses, they would just boost Fujitora and Green Bull into the people that are fighting Sanji and Zoro. And in that situation, Zoro would definitely be fighting Fujitora, and Sanji would be fighting Green Bull, and then Luffy would fight Akainu. So it's like, in that light, it would just be Luffy doubling up, like I like to say, where he fights Kizaru and then he fights Akainu, just at different times. But I think Luffy not fighting Jack has had people sour on the Luffy fighting the fourth guy thing that he always has. But to me, it could still happen. I would probably rather Kizaru makes it to the final. But if Luffy fights Kizaru right now and beats him, I ain't gonna be mad. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like a highlight moment of the series for me. Luffy straight up beating an admiral. You kidding me? I'm with that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that's how I see it.
Clarify though, because they're texting in the chat that you mean not at the same time, but you mean now and then in the future.
Yeah, now and then in the future. Like it wouldn't be well. When I originally made the thought process, it was Luffy in one arc. I'd defeat an admiral, and then after some recovery time, I fight another admiral and I win. But more likely that he would fight Kizaru now and win, and then fight Akainu later. So
no, because the chat was just texting. I think they thought you meant two admirals at the same time.
Nah, not two admirals at the same time.
But then they said they don't even think Roger could do that, and I'm like,
if anybody, that's my thing. If you got to start giving credence to like, yo, could the Pirate King do this? And then start thinking, well, then Luffy could probably do it eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to start thinking that way. We're reaching towards the end of the series. Like that's what I'm saying. Who could fight two admirals at the same time? Like we talked about Luffy landing in front of the three admirals and recreating that scene. Yeah. Who could do that and survive it for real? Not get rescued the way Luffy did. The Pirate King can do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And again, if Luffy's gonna be the Pirate King, he has to start having Pirate King type feats, Pirate King type accomplishments, Pirate King type moments in the series. And fighting two admirals, fighting three admirals. I mean, that sounds. I know it sounds crazy, and I'm an admiral guy, but we can go anywhere with Luffy's abilities right now. In all honesty, so I don't know.
Yeah, and the thing is, in all honesty, though, when I say Kizaru gets beaten this arc by Luffy, I'm not necessarily saying that means that he will be weaker than Ryokuju or Fujitora. I mean, I feel like the fact that he would be the main villain of an arc, that he would have the highlight of this arc and then be beaten by Luffy, would actually be more grander for Kizaru in a way, because he got beaten by Luffy. Like honestly, to me, I don't think King or Queen is stronger than Katakuri. I just don't think they are, in all honesty. Even though they have higher bondings, I think Katakuri is stronger than both of them. In a similar way, I would think Kizaru would be that for Luffy, and Zoro and Sanji would end up fighting like either Ryokuju or Fujitora in that way.
That's fair.
I was thinking of pretty much like, again, going towards the order of things, like, Luffy always fights the strongest and Zoro fights the second strongest and so on. But I think this case is different because there's no second or third strongest with the admirals because they're on the same straight. Look, we put Fujitora, they're probably stronger, but for instance, it's clear cut that who's stronger. King is stronger than Queen.
Yeah, they haven't established a hierarchy with the admirals
yet. That's my point.
Yet.
Exactly, that's my point, though. But that's why I find it kind of interesting. I could see Luffy beat Kizaru and Sanji and Jimbei fight Rokoga and Zoro fight Fujitora. I could see that, too. I could see different things. But I prefer that if Luffy even fights Kizaru, that's fine. But Sanji fights Kizaru. Luffy fights Akainu, Zoro fights Fujitora, and Jimbei fights Rokoga, like Green Ball. That's what I'm picturing, and that's what I want. Mm-hmm. Just because I want it doesn't mean it's going to happen. But again, we don't know who's stronger. We speculate, all right, with abilities and their strength, who's stronger. We don't know who's stronger than who. You might say, all right, Green Bull has the weakest showing, but regardless of it, each of the admirals would still lose to a Yonko. The only one you could argue would be a Akainu. That's it. All of them would still, regardless if Green Bull had that bad showing with Shanks, Fujitora's losing to Shanks. Kizaru's losing to Shanks. So at that point, it doesn't even matter. Because they would still just lose. Mm-hmm. Just that one showed more scared than the other. But regardless, they would still lose. So that's what I'm saying. They're still, in a weird way, a level playing field, like an even level playing field. Well, you think, they show which one's a little stronger. And that's what I kind of like. They're showing that, all right, Luffy is up the top. Then you have Zoro, Sanji, and Jimbei close in strength. But we do know, all right, Zoro is a little bit stronger than Sanji. and people argue with Sanji and Sanji and Jimbei, that's fine. But it kind of goes the same with the admirals. They're on the same level, but you could argue, right, Fujitora might be a little stronger than Kizaru, or Greenbow might be a little the weakest, but we don't know. And I think that's actually a good landmark towards how strong the top 4 are. So that's me personally. But
yeah, I feel you on that.
I don't know the matchups. I mean, to me, the 3 OG admirals are always going to be stronger than the new ones, and that's really it for me. Like whoever versus who, I think it will come down to whatever. I think Sabo most likely fights Akainu. I think he's going to get overlooked by Luffy. I think Sanji should fight Kizaru. Fuji should definitely fight,
Zoro.
Zoro, yeah. Zoro would fight Fujitora. But other than that, man, I don't know. Like, admirals are always going to be weaker than Yonko, especially the previous Yonko. I think Kaido can fight Green Bull and Fujitora at the same time.
And win?
Yeah. Yeah, extreme difficulty, but he would win. I agree. I mean, Akainu was the most impressive, obviously, but he also did fight a weakened Whitebeard.
Right.
And that, I feel like not enough people put that into play. But he also didn't take too many shots from Whitebeard. So he's still impressive in the manga, not in the anime. Also, I've always said this, but like we can always say like Akainu probably is the strongest admiral, but like Aokiji is not. He's the second strongest, but it's like they're dead even. Like when you think of Akainu, you got to start thinking of Aokiji. If he lost, it wasn't by a lot. And they're the only 2 people who have fought for 10 days in the show. I don't know if Kizaru could do that.
Fleet Admiral.
Yeah, so they're definitely stronger than the other admirals. It just depends who Aokiji fights. He might be the person to go, to be honest.
Aokiji?
Yeah.
I have my theories on Aokiji. I can't speak on them right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, and so just for me, I agree with Lionel, and also going by what he's saying, like Larry pointed out, the 2 admirals did fight for 10 days, Yeah, they're the OG admirals, but that kind of shows that how close they are in strength. And I kind of believe that, I know through that it's kind of viewed that Kizaru was probably weaker than them too, but I think it would have been the same if Kizaru was fighting them. It would have been lasted 10 days. All of them would have been even, and then whoever wins getting the final push in the end, it would need to go that far.
I disagree. I don't think Kizaru was doing anything for 10 days. He's going to get bored and be like, yo. I don't care enough
it's
about
moving
this.
Too slow.
I'm out. But that's just how I view him.
But you also got to look at it too, like the admirals, the OG ones. Everybody be hyping up Blackbeard and riding him and all that other stuff, right? And talk about how the Goro replaces or supplants the fact that he doesn't have advanced, like, hockey. Right? Like, he could just fight anybody and just win, and he's top 3 in a verse.
Nah.
But, like, we saw the OG admirals take an experienced Goro no Mi user and turned his widespread attack to nothing. Together, but it was also an expanded attack where it attacks everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's an experienced guy who's had that devil fruit for years upon years. And he's one of the strongest ever in the show.
They also probably did a scouting report. I mean, they ain't just pull up.
But the fact is that we haven't seen any other admirals do such things as that.
Yeah.
Like, it's outward emission of hockey.
Yeah.
And that's just opposite. It's real.
And actually, just in further Larry's point, remember, though, it was in the very beginning, but Akainu rolled it by himself on the entirety of the Blackbeard Pirates.
I mean,
right, exactly.
I ain't trying to fight an admiral if I don't have to. You know what I mean? But that's me.
Yeah, that's what people with weak-willed hockey.
Yo, listen.
You would eat a fruit. So.
Yeah,
he probably if Akainu pulled up on Blackbeard right now, he'd probably fight him. Just because he's had more time with his fruits. He's had more. Yeah,
absolutely.
I like that you said. I like you said probably. So that's
Blackbeard's still gonna do some soft no matter what. Like whether or not I love the guy, but
he would jump Akainu.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to jump Akainu then and chose not to. now that I've mastered my fruits or whatever, had 2 years with him, and I've given all of these other people fruits potentially.
He didn't master.
He has a better grasp of his fruits than he did 2 years ago. Is my point.
You master when you awaken, bro.
Yeah. Larry named it perfectly. Blackbeard only goes in situations or in battles that he knows he's going to win.
He's not winning against a kind of.
And if
right now, with his entire crew,
if he's not sure, does Blackbeard take that chance? That's the thing. Because Blackbeard goes when he knows. If he's not sure, does he take that chance?
I'm the biggest Akainu fan here. Y'all trying to tell me if Akainu pulled up on Blackbeard right now with him and his entire crew, 𝑎okiji included, he's not winning that fight? Are y'all kidding me?
That's not what we said.
He just said that.
That's not what we said.
He just said that.
I said if Blackbeard's not sure. It's all in Blackbeard's
he would
mind.
be sure right now. There wouldn't be a doubt in his mind that he could win that fight right now.
Then he'll fight.
And he would win.
I don't know if
He's not fighting for
I don't think.
Yeah.
That's even if you take 𝑎okiji out of it.
Or he'll run.
You're wrong.
Or he'll run away like he did with Rayleigh.
Yeah, wrong.
Which is what.
Yeah, wrong. But
I think he'll do with Garp too.
I saw Akainu literally fight the entire Whitebeard commander force, bro.
Oh my god, no.
Exactly, by himself with Crocodile.
He was going to fight all of them.
I love all the Akainu hype, but y'all tripping.
Yeah, we gotta go anyway. But thank you for the call, Terrence. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
All right, later, bro.
All right.
All right, guys, this is the end of the episode 81. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for all the super chats. I know we got 2 that came in. I'm going to read them next episode. Can't read them right now. But if anything, please like the stream. If you haven't already, we would appreciate it.
Yeah, please like.
Yeah, so the next cosplay will be Lawrence, and I'm gonna get mines, I think, and I think we'll probably do them together. So look forward to that. I just don't know when it is, but I'm still waiting on my Usopp costume, my Sogi King costume. But I already got the other stuff. So other than that, anything you guys want to say?
I hope you guys like the Jimbei cosplay. You guys seem to like it a lot. I really appreciate all you guys trolling me and saying that I look good and stuff. I do feel a love for fish people right now wearing this ridiculous outfit. I am blue almost from head to toe, and that's because of you guys. So just want to say we do this for you guys, and hopefully you guys give me a less ridiculous cosplay. But this is fun. This was fun. I'm going to probably try to take a bunch of pictures. So.
Yeah. All right, then. Other than that, my name is Larry.
Lawrence.
Lionel.
And this is One Piece Talk. Jana.
Sen Jimbei. Jana.
Senbei.
Senbei. Yeah, it's definitely Senbei.